understand everything that's been said against me, the charges that are against me, and that is why I pled guilty. But I had no intent to break any Russian laws. I made an honest mistake, and I hope that in your ruling that it doesn't end my life here.
That's Brittney Griner, her voice speaking from behind bars in a cage in the Russian courtroom. President Biden called her 9-year prison sentence unacceptable, promised to work to bring her home. The Russian Foreign Minister, Sergei Lavrov, has said the Kremlin's ready to discuss a prisoner swap. Bishop Barber, you've called for the creation of a diverse, interfaith, humanitarian delegation to travel to Russia to bring home Brittney Griner. Can you lay out how this would work? You've said you want to be a part of that delegation.
Again, thank you so much. And if I might step back just 2 seconds and also say that on this other piece with the bill, you're right, it's not a game, which is why the People's Campaign, Repairs to the Breach in Kairos, we're working to mobilize more than 5 million voters who are going to say our votes are not just support, but demands for the kind of public policy that lifts all people. You know, what we're concentrating on with Brittney Griner's situation is her full release. You know, we're talking about oil, and we're talking about traces of oil, and something that she used for medicinal purposes. And the only reason she's being targeted is because she's a high-profile basketball player that's now caught up in geopolitics, and Russia's using her as some kind of pawn. You know, I would hope, I have daughters, and if my daughter was in a situation that people, clergy, wouldn't have to know us, but they would be willing to offer their moral strength. Some weeks ago, in front of the embassy, I was standing there with a Lutheran pastor, Unitarian, and a few other people. There was a prayer vigil, and we said that in front of the embassy. There have been others that have called for it. I think as many of us as possible should do it. We sent to the White House more than 800 clergy and religious leaders that signed off on a letter saying that if the embassy in Russia and the United States, two governments would have to allow, we can't do it on our own. If they would allow it and come together, we would be willing to put together a diverse, it shouldn't be any one or two people. This should be diverse. It should be black, white, brown, native. It should be Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, whoever. It should be diverse, and they should have international reach, where we could call on clergy not only here, but even in Russia, even in other parts of the world, to say to Britt that we want to bring this young lady home. That's all we're concerned about. Put down the swords, put down the schemes, stop using her as a pawn. You know this is ridiculous to put her in jail for 9 years for something that was medicinal, and it was oil, no intent. You know, sadly, she had to plead guilty, but there may be some reason for that. Now, we also say, and we don't know all that's going on behind the scenes, and we have to say that we don't know what negotiations are. We hope that certainly that the prisoner swap, you know, moves and works.